Well, hello there, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on today's Creative Checkup. The God and Gigs Show is the podcast, but this is not specifically the God and Gigs Show. My name is Alan C. Paul, and this is where we help you to figure out a specific issue, something in your creative life that connects with your spiritual life, but also helps you thrive as a creative. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching on replay, I always try to jump right in right away so that you're not waiting. So today we're going to be talking about growing your audience, your community, growing your reach through recommendations and referrals. Recommendations and referrals, something that has really blessed me in the last few months and allowed us to gain over 400 new subscribers through our email list without any extra effort. Really, literally just one switch we turned, one little thing that we started doing, something we started to participate in that allowed us to use the power of networks, the power of referrals, the power of word of mouth. Old school, I know we hear so much about, social media and this algorithm and that algorithm, but this was just plain old, hey, would you like to check out this other person who I recommend? And it has grown our ability to impact new people without any extra effort. It's really been people walking through the door that God is bringing through recommendations and referrals. So if you're new to God and Gigs, I would hope that you would help us, or not help us, but hang around so that we can help you to be better in this area, whether it's your music career, your film career, whatever, poetry, whether it's art, whether it's design, anything in the creative space. That's what we do here. We have our podcast, we have our books here, God and Gigs, and Your Art, God's Heart, and all these different ways to help you. But today, specifically, as I mentioned, we're going to help you in terms of referrals and recommendations. So if you're watching right now live, let me know where you're watching from, how you found us, whether you've been a long time listener, a long time watcher, long time part of God and Gigs, or if you are here for the first time, that'd be awesome as well. But like I said, I like to jump right in because if you're watching this, most likely on replay, because most people can't always jump in right in the middle of the day, I like to make sure that you get something out of this right off the bat. So first of all, what is the power of recommendations? Well, the power of recommendations is the fact that whenever somebody knows someone that knows you, you're automatically gaining trust from the person that is referring you or that is recommending you. So it's such a beautiful thing that when you have a good name, the Bible says that, a good name is to be desired more than apples of gold. Oh, awesome. Okay, watching from North Carolina. Let's see here. If you are watching in the Facebook group, just a quick note, you have to go into StreamYard. Let me find that link, how to post if you want to give your name. Okay, if you want to give your name here, save link, copy link. If you want to have your name show up and you're watching from Facebook, go here. You should see it. It says StreamYard.com/Facebook. StreamYard is the streaming service we use that helps us go to different things. You might be watching us on LinkedIn. You might be watching us on Facebook and our Facebook group. You might be watching us on YouTube. So, but on Facebook, you'll need to go here and give them permission to show your name. And if you don't want to do that and you just want to say, hey, I'm blank watching from North Carolina, go ahead and do that as well. Okay. So, and I have a few guesses of who this is, but we have a few North Carolina folks that are with us, so I don't want to guess wrong. All right. So the referral and the recommendation power is the gathering and the concentration of trust. Because when someone refers you, the person that's referring you, number one, people don't really refer people unless they're already trustworthy. Like, I don't see a lot of people who are untrustworthy who just like to say, oh, go to this guy, go to that, go to this restaurant. You all know this, right? Whenever you ask someone, what's the best restaurant? You only ask people for referrals that you already want the referral from, that you already think have some kind of expertise, some kind of knowledge, Those are the people you ask. You don't go talking to people who you have no confidence in. Hey, what do you think? Who should I call? Who's a good person for this, that, or the other thing? So even the fact that someone is actually wanting a referral kind of implies that the person that is receiving the request is trustworthy. So that's the first thing. So referrals imply trust. We all see this all the time when it comes to reviews on Instagram, reviews on not Instagram, on Amazon's a better one, or Google. So if you have, reviews, people sometimes have no idea who you are, but they assume that if you took the time to sit down and write a review, that you are trustworthy, that you're not just trying to like lead them the wrong way. So people even read reviews from strangers based on that credibility that only people who really want to share valid information take the time to make a recommendation. Take the time to sit down and write out a review. Take the time to write a referral. Yes, there are the bad apples. Every once in a while, the people just want to badmouth people, or they want to do the opposite and blow something up for reasons that they're getting like some type of like benefit out of it. I'm not talking about any of those things. I'm talking about just the fact that 90% of the time, if you are asking or looking for a referral for someone, it's because you trust the person that's making the referral or the recommendation. Now, let's take it to your point and what happened with us. For God and Gigs, most of our community, as you know, you're part of this community, are people who are in the arts, entrepreneurship, entertainment, music, and ministry in some way, shape, or form, like all of those things wrapped up in one. Now, that's a very, very small segment of people. So when we connect with people that are trustworthy, that are loyal, that know their stuff, the first thing that I do is I always try to find a way to recommend them. It's why we created inside God and Gigs what we call our ECEs, our established creative experts. Because throughout 260, now 270 episodes of the God and Gigs show of podcasting, I've met a lot of amazing people that can do amazing things and are great at their jobs and great at their callings. And I want to make sure that everybody knows about them. And I don't get a kickback or any kind of financial compensation from recommending these people to you. So when we talk about a Yoshika Green, who was on our last podcast about talking about grants, how you should be using grants and community resources and programs to fund your art, the fact that most of us don't take advantage of those grants. Why do I recommend Yoshika? Why do I refer people to her? Because she is the best. She's a world class at helping people get funding and grants and designing programs and writing around that so that you have the right kind of approach to getting that money and then blessing other people with it. And when I see people like Yoshika, who's a sold out believer, who loves God, but who also is amazing at her craft, amazing at her gifting, I'm going to recommend them. So God and Gigs has become a place and a hub where people trust us to give recommendations as well. So I just wonder, is there anybody in your world, before we talk about people recommending you, are you recommending other people? Are you becoming that person that people come to that ask you, hey, do you know somebody? Even if they're not necessarily coming to you for the thing. And this is a big thing for many of us. And tell me if this has happened to you. Somebody is in your space, somebody that does what you do, and you're hoping they become like a customer. And they come to you and say, hey, do you know anybody that does so-and-so? And your first temptation is to say, I do that. And it's an understandable temptation, and it might be valid. It might be like, hey, I'm the person you're looking for. But then there's other times that you know that that person needs something that you don't quite give or do. And you know you're kind of giving them to someone that could be considered competition, but it's a better choice. That's where you have to be first, just like the golden rule and Jesus said, you have to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You wouldn't want a kind of tailored, you wouldn't want a recommendation that wasn't tailored to you. You wouldn't want a blanket statement. You'd want something that somebody actually wanted to give to you. So what I would give this as an example is one of our members, great longtime member in one of our groups. Aaron over in the UK, and I'm sorry to well, I'll use his first name, but Aaron had emailed me and said, "Hey, I just want you to know that I'll be stepping out from the membership for a little while. I checked out one of your podcast guests, and she's got an amazing program that works just for me, but I can't get both of these right now, so I have to choose the one." Now, I could have been salty. I could have been mad. I could have been like, wait a minute. I have this person on my podcast, and you joined their program, but the podcast, the whole goal of it is to recommend people and follow them and maybe get their resources, and that'll help you and bless you. So how would I look telling this person, "Oh my God, you shouldn't have ever come. You should have stayed with me. You never should have gone to that other person." If I'm recommending other people, I gotta expect they're going to respect my recommendation, and that is a blessing and a credit to God and Gigs that people come into our space and people can find the answers and find the programs, even if it's not ours. You know how Progressive does, right? You guys know the Progressive commercial. Everybody knows they show you your rates. They show you the rates of everybody else. Progressive has made plenty of money from people that found that their rates were the lowest, but they've also kind of made other people money because they've shown that other people's rates were lowest. But the cachet and the trust that they gathered from other people is is priceless. So my question to you is, are you recommending people? Are you the hub? Are you referring people in good faith to where people can look at you and they expect to find good results or good referrals or good recommendations from you? Now, I kind of gave you that 12-minute or so introduction so that I could get to this part. That part is important though. It's all going to fit together. So here's the thing that we have done. The thing that allowed us to gain 400 subscribers in the last 6 months or so has been joining a program called the ConvertKit Creator Network. Now you might say, first of all, what is ConvertKit? Well, ConvertKit is an email slash service, I would say email and marketing service provider for entrepreneurs and creators. And so if you are in any kind of thing where you're emailing your list, they call it, okay, your email list, your customer list, not your personal email. I want to make this clear to everybody because you might be new to email marketing. I am not talking about just using Gmail. I'm talking about you have people who have opted in, who have chosen to join your email list. They are not your personal contacts. And then you're sending them regular, automated, or written out emails from your business. Okay, that's what email marketing is. ConvertKit allows you to organize all this, to make landing pages and all that kind of stuff, and have an incredible suite of tools for staying in connection with your community. So I've been a member of ConvertKit for a while. Now, what's the reason why I'm using ConvertKit as my case study, kind of like to explain how this works, is because they recently introduced a program that really does center on the power of recommendations and referrals. So I'm going to take you back. If you guys, if everybody can see when I do my screen thing and they're okay with that, if not, I'll go back to just me facing you. But hopefully the screen sharing is working. So if this is all making sense for you, by the way, I see a couple of us listening live. Let me know if you're watching, where you're watching. Oh, see, looks like we have everybody is in the group right now. It's in the Facebook group. Okay. So if you're watching from the Facebook group, remember, you got to put your name or go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and let them know that you want to share your name in the comments. But let's see here. Let's go to present. And we're going to share the screen. And we want to share the entire screen. So that way you guys see all of it. And I can keep things hidden if I need to. And then we'll switch. Okay. First, let's do this. Oh, I see what I need to do. Once I switch it, you can switch. Okay, so you're gonna see like a whole bunch of repeated things right now. Let me get rid of this so you guys see just that. That's not what I want to see. That was what I was worried about. Give me 1 second to make sure we don't. All right, so hopefully you guys are seeing the right thing. You're seeing my convert kit background, and I'm going to go over here to recommendations. So what this is called is this is called let's just do this the window because that was kind of weird. Stop sharing and start over again. No sound. Thank you for telling me what happened. We had sound before. Settings. Yeah, you guys, sorry, I'm seeing on my side, I'm seeing the sound seems to be working. So let me know if it is still out. Because right now I'm looking and it seems like we're getting it. Let me check my own stuff. Thank you for the note. Oh, Pamela, hey, thank you. It's back. Okay, got it. I was kind of nervous. Just wanted to make sure that we still had it. So I'm checking here. Check. There we go. Okay, I can hear myself here. That's always a good thing just to make sure it was going through. So what? Yeah, it might have gone out whenever I was switching back and forth, but I wanted to share my screen and I had to flip things. All right, so I'm going to go here, share screen again, but this time I'm just going to do a window. All right, and I'm going to show you the back end of my creator network. All right, so hopefully you can see that. So this is the page where I say recommending me, the way that the ConvertKit program works. Subscribers, so let's go here. First recommending me. I've decided to recommend my emails, which is the Creatives Checkup, which is what you see there. Okay, that's my email newsletter. That's what everybody gets every week. If you are a member of our God and Gigs newsletter, sign up. You've signed up for a freebie. You've gotten a prayer, 7-day prayer devotional, something like that. Okay, so now once you have that, sign up for this creator network. Good, I can make sure everybody's seeing everything. You can see that I have a couple of people here at the very top. This is one of my the biggest blessings has been. You see right here, this is Christian author, YouTube YouVersion partner, speaker, and founder. Her name is Rachel G. Scott. She's getting ready to put out a book called Taking the 5 Leaps. She had me on her podcast way back in last June, I think it was. And I've been trying to get her back on the show ever since. But what you can see here is that she has decided to recommend me and refer me in her email subscriber list. So what happens is when people subscribe to Rachel, Rachel then has a little box that pops up and it says, hey, here's 5 other creators that I really, enjoy or that I would recommend. Now, do you guys see that number? Let me know if you can see that number, but that's where I got the 400 number. Since I started this program, Rachel has had 400 people accept her recommendation and join my list. That's just one person recommending my stuff. And I am just so floored. I'm so grateful for Rachel. Like I said, I'm trying to get her on my podcast as soon as possible so we can talk about her book. And you can see a couple of other ones. I can scroll down a little bit. And so not all of them have that many. So you see there's 30 from practical, I think this is personal knowledge management, and Paul Turner. So you can see the vast majority came from just one person. But that one recommendation, one person saying, hey, I like what you're doing. Let me share it with other people. That one recommendation has resulted in 400 new subscribers to my list. And what's amazing about that is that honestly, when these people join, I haven't seen a lot of people say, oh, you know what, I really didn't sign up for that. Let me unsubscribe. Like most these subscribers are staying. So what you're seeing here is the power of one recommendation that has just created a boom of new people coming to check me out and learn about what I do. So you can see even the top numbers there, like 17% conversion. So almost 18% of people who join, who see me being recommended, choose the recommendation. So that's one thing. Now, let me go to where I'm recommending. So here's the place where I get to pay it forward. Now, in this program, the ConvertKit Creator Network, and by the way, if you want to check this out, you can go to, let's see which one. Go to godandgigs.com/match. Let me put that in real quick. And you can see how this works. And you can actually try out, since get matched with 3 other, see if it's working. I should check it first. But I'm putting it up now first. So now I'm going to check it, which I should have done earlier. .com match. Awesome. Okay, I wanted to make sure it's working. So go to there, Creator Matcher. Oh, I should have shown you. Dang it. I'll show you in a second. Okay, anyway. So let me go on to this. I got a little distracted. So you can see here, I've had the opportunity to then recommend other creators and newsletter people to other people. So I'm not just receiving recommendations, I'm giving recommendations. And so this is the back end of that. You can see again, I haven't been as successful as giving Rachel as many people as she's given me, but I have sent 45 subscribers her way. And then these other newsletters here, I'm sending people their way and they're accepting the recommendation. Again, I'm a conduit because I'm willing to recommend people and people are willing to recommend me. And this is not just quid pro quo. It's not just, people just scratching each other's back. This is real, honest referrals where people are like, I love this particular newsletter. You should join it. So as you can see, again, I've sent 207 subscribers to other creators simply by them saying, hey, I like your newsletter. I might like this other person's as well. So that's the basics of the ConvertKit new creator network, okay? So I'm obviously going to recommend that you join something like this, but I want to make sure that it's more of a example of what's possible when you really invest into referrals, invest into what it means to make other people look good and to share with other people. That is an eternal principle. It's a principle that works no matter what. That if you are blessing others, God turns around and blesses you. And if you are recommending others, people turn around and recommend you. Let me tell you a couple things I don't recommend. And this is where I feel like, I need to be very clear about this whole, people recommending me, I should just ask people to recommend me and that's going to be it. It's like, no, you reap what you sow. So you have to sow, and actually, even to join the creator network, you have to recommend someone first. You have to recommend someone first. Now you might say, oh, Alan, I already have an email service provider for my business. So I already use MailChimp or Flowdesk or I can't remember the rest of them right now. They all popped out of my head. So you might say, I don't really know any other, I already have an email service provider. I don't really need this. I can tell you honestly that Obviously, I'm affiliate of ConvertKit, so I'm always going to be a very high proponent because this works so well for me. But I would honestly say, even if you are just forming like a separate newsletter just to start to like figure out how you can recommend other people, I would try that and just have it in the back pocket. And then if you ever decide to transfer, then you can go ahead and just transfer because ConvertKit is free under like 1,000 subscribers. So this won't hurt you at all. I do think you have to be a certain level to start recommending people recommending you. So it might be a little cost there. So you have to check into that and see where they're at with that. But this is what's possible for me to have 200 people coming in and then 400 people. If I'm recommending up to 200 people per month. And then this other one was where I got 400. So double that. That came into the God and Gigs universe through recommendations and referral. So as I was mentioning, what you don't want to do is you don't want to simply just recommend people for recommend, like for like that stuff doesn't work. And usually it ends up poisoning kind of like the relationship with you and your community because now they're just worried that every time you talk, you're really just like out there to self-serve versus really being of service. So you don't want to just say, oh, let me be like this needs to be organic and real and authentic. Okay, it cannot be where you're trying to just get people to like you. And that's the same thing in real referrals, right? In real life. You don't want people to think that the only reason that you recommended someone is because they're expecting a recommendation from you and it's like, oh, we're just going to pass it around. This has to be authentic. So one of my suggestions is check out the ConvertKit Creator Network, convertkit.com, or so gardengigs.com/convertkit or gardengigs.com/match. You can see how this works. But I've gotten some of these pitches already. And I don't recommend that you simply say, hey, I'm on the network, or hey, would you recommend me? Just asking for recommendations. This is again, Pamela, you can speak to this. This happens everywhere in careers where people are like, oh, just tell someone so about me. It's like, why? Unless the conversation leads to that, I'm not just going to like blindly just recommend things that don't have anything to do with you because you may not be looking. So it's the same thing here where you really got to make sure that you don't fall into this like for like, review for review. Oh, I support you, you support me. Like it needs to be genuine. That's why even in this network, I have told many people, I'm not, excuse me. I told many people that I'm not going to recommend you just because you recommend me. Sounds a little harsh, but unless for sure I know you are a good fit for this other person, I'm not going to recommend you. Because now both of our trustworthiness and our characters are on the line. So if I don't really take you seriously, and I just like, oh yeah, I just need the review, or I just need a like, I just need someone to recommend me. And then that other person comes to that person, it's like, he wasn't really what I wanted at all. Now both the referrer and the referee look bad. So you don't want to do that. You do not want to fall into like, oh, just recommend me, especially in this network, the Creator Network. What I would suggest, in any way, shape, or form that you do recommendations, is that you do keep a list. Now, one tool I'm using right now is called Clay. It's AI / customer, more like contact management tool. And it's helping me to keep all of my people together. If you're interested in that, you can go to guideandgigs.com/clay. I'll put all these together. Actually, I need to redo my source. Let's stop sharing for a second. I'm going to need to redo my tool page. Let's see if the tool page is still there. Sorry, I got to check all this at the same time. That I'm on. Excuse me for that yawning. I was up all night with the gig. So yeah, we have the toolkit, but I don't know if I've updated it. Oh, I think I have. Somewhat. There's still some stuff I need to change here. And I don't think I have Clay on here. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, we're going to put it. It's not totally. I still got to update it, but. So if you go to clay.com or clay.earth, or just go to the toolkit and you'll see everything. Okay, that's probably easier. So if you go here, you'll see all the tools I recommend. But one of the things that Clay does is that it intelligently helps me remember who I talk to and why I talk to them, and something else that they might like, or something that's just really, really good with this. And again, it's all in the toolkit. And the reason I use it is because it makes sure that these are personal connections. It makes sure that when I think of someone, I remember why I was talking to them, what I was talking about, what are they interested in. And it's just a lot better than just a contact or like a business card that doesn't really tell me who they are. So this reminds me to get the details about who they are before I go recommending people. And again, the whole point is when I connect with that person, I want to make sure I know exactly why I would refer them. What is it about their gifting? What is it about their character? What is it about their reading of the word? What is it about what they do that makes them a good fit for so and so? So you got to become a student of everyone. Okay? Once you're a student of everyone, you can do these right kind of referrals. And yeah, I'm sure Pamela, if you're watching, this is right up your alley. So let me know if you have any other suggestions as we go. Okay? So I showed you a little bit about how I got the 400 subs. The Creator Network, again, is where I did it. The reason why it's so cool that ConvertKit did this is because it does provide a easy way for you to get this reciprocal type of referral thing going. It's really hard to do by yourself. And I've noticed that even on Instagram and collabs and things like that, sometimes it's not really like, it just doesn't seem genuine. But this is a very automated but also very personal way for you to connect with other creators. So yeah, the second thing I recommend is check out the ConvertKit. Say that 5 times fast. Can't do it now. ConvertKit Creator Network. Go in there. Join up if you haven't joined already at guideandgifts.com/ConvertKit. And then remember, you have to recommend someone first. So the thing I would recommend is join several other newsletters, and you can do this in any place. Join some of the things before you start asking people to follow you. Get really acquainted with them. Join their networks. Let me pull this up. Join their networks. Learn about what they do. Study how they ask. And only after you've built some kind of connection with them outside of the ask, then say, hey, can you take a look at my stuff? Maybe. So always become a member of their community first. Get their emails first. Go first. Lead by example, not by parking space, as Pastor Steve in my church says. Don't let it fall into this kind of, I'm just going to recommend people. Like, no, have a purpose, have a plan, have a reason for recommending them. And then make sure that, you actually join their communities and interact with them. Simple as that. So, my friends, that's about 33 minutes. Unless there's any other questions, let me do some quick church announcements for those of you who are going to be following us and watching some of these other things. This live stream today was our creative checkup where we address a single issue. But later on Monday the 19th, if you're watching before then, you can join me at 10 a.m. with my good friend, amazing friend. Talk about somebody that knows how to refer. And she's made some connections for me just this last week. LaShonda M. Brown will be doing a joint session with me where we're going to be talking about podcasting and YouTube. That's at 10 o'clock Eastern on her pages. I'm posting to it. I'll put a link if I can underneath this particular video on a later comment so that you can find it. But join us if you're free. You got to, you can watch the replay. I believe it'll be up. But most importantly, if you are in any kind of content creation, podcasting, YouTube, or anything in between, and you want to know how things are really working, what's really working for us, let me take this off now because I feel like I'm a little loud. If you want to know what's really working for us, go to LaShonda's page. Let's find LaShonda's page real quick. I think you can go to just LaShondaBrown.com, LaShondaBrown.com. Let me spell that out. Make sure you guys get it. And then you'll see how to join up in that live stream. Make sure that's correct. And again, that's 10 o'clock on Monday, which for a lot of us is a holiday. Okay, let me put that up. All right. Now, the second thing which is more for the musicians, kind of, but not really, not just for the musicians, but for the musicians, any kind of performing creative artist that's recording. I'm going to be talking that same day on the 19th at 2 p.m. I'm going to be sharing a case study on me and how I've shared my music, which is something I don't talk about a lot on this channel. How my music has adopted a new protocol that allows me to share it with as many people as I want, no algorithms, and you can get compensated directly for your work, for your art. And some people are not quite sure about it. Some people are like, what is this? Like, is this kind of a scam? I'm going to walk you through how I do it, how I'm using it, how it's expanding my creative career. And that's at 2 p.m. on Monday. And let's see, I don't know if I have a YouTube for that one. So go and register at godandgigs.com. What is it? I forgot for this week. Value. godandgigs.com/value. I could not remember. My brain is shutting down. I got to get my coffee. So godandgigs/value. I believe we changed that name. If not, I will make sure it's done. So if you go there and you don't see anything, I will make sure it's updated. I'm pretty sure that was it though. Okay. So go check that out. That'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern. So I've got a busy day. I got teaching in the morning, teaching in the afternoon, one on podcasting and YouTube, and one on how I'm using podcasting and another way to earn a living and make more money than I ever have in my musical pursuits. So those are the two things that are happening on Monday, February 19th, on President's Day for many of us, holiday. So depending on what you're doing, I would love to join you or love for you to join us. All right. Okay, my friends, that is the creative checkup for today. Remember that you absolutely have the power to build a new network by referrals and recommendations. Remember, you got to go first. Remember, don't wait. Not only for, I lost train of thought. Remember to keep it going no matter what. Don't wait for, I remember how I was going to say it. Don't wait for other people to recommend you. Always go first. Always look for opportunities to be a conduit in that hub where people can find you. They can find their answer. And pretty soon, people will be referring you to answer their questions that they can't answer. So it's all word of mouth. It's all old fashioned, but it works. Okay, I told you just how it worked with me with the ConvertKit Creator Network. How signing up for that program brought in 400 subs. Many of them stayed. Some was, I was a surprise, but it was like, oh my, these people are right in my line of what I do. It was crazy. So I really want to encourage you guys on that to really join us and be a part of that kind of recommendation flow where people find out about you, they find out about what we do, and then they end up recommending you. And it's just like a beautiful flywheel of generosity and respect and mutual admiration. All right, my friends, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you joined us on replay, please let me know that you watched on replay. Remember, you can join us on the 19th on LaShonda Brown's channel, or join me later that day to talk about music, talk about value, talk about all that kind of stuff, how I am, using this new platform called Value for Value to reinvigorate my music career. So either one of those or both would be great to see you there. We do a lot of live streaming on President's Day since some of us are off. We're taking advantage of it. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching. God bless until next time. Continue to become the creative that you were created to be. God bless, and I'll see you next time.